Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another Dress to Impress video. So, a lot of things have happened while I've not been posting, and I don't know if I want to come and talk about it or like give my opinion. I might just do both, but it was a lot. I didn't really invest into everything too much, but this may become a longer video. Only because I haven't been posting, and I'll update you guys on that also. And not only have I not been posting, I haven't really been playing DTI much either. Let me run this gameplay so you guys can watch and listen to me while I yap. So, the reason for my inactivity is because life is getting busy, basically. But you know, the time of the year, everyone's schooling, getting in school, transitioning, things like that. I did say I was going to post YouTube videos if I were to be a bit busier, but I just haven't had the time to do so. But every now and then I stream on Twitch on the weekends, and I also post 3 to 4 TikToks weekly. So yeah, I stream on weekends if I have that time, and I do post 3 to 4 videos on my TikTok. And I still post my YouTube shorts and everything. I just haven't been able to keep up with them, and that's my fault. So I apologize for that, because I should be active on my YouTube. I care for you guys. You guys care for me, But that's been me, and I'll make sure to get back on it. If you have any questions or recommendations, you can leave those down in the comments. I always read the comments. Now on to the real tea, what we all came here for. Keep in mind, my response to this is all opinionated, and I mean no harm by anything that I say. And I know I'm a small creator, and you know how that goes. But straight to the point with Dress to Impress and the Lady Gaga update. Now the update was pretty fire itself. The items were pretty good. Came up with a lot of stuff to do with them. I put these Gaga stockings in every outfit. Trust me, they're not going anywhere. When I see that I had to play 5 or 10 rounds to get that one top, I was like, oh my goodness, I just finished the baddie pass. You want me to play more? But I completed it. So, no reason for me to complain. I got the top. But the event. Now, I streamed the event on my Twitch, and it was really nothing to say. I think I came in there like 30 minutes before it was about to start. Then the time got extended, which I was like, oh my gosh, I waited for so long. I think I waited for about an hour for it to start. And it was a bunch of excitement and build up. Mind you, I'm not really a Lady Gaga fan. I don't really listen to Lady Gaga, but I heard her songs, so it's not like I'm a noob. But I was really excited to be like, hey, Gaga's here. Hi there. But it wasn't really what I expected. But I don't know what I really expected. A lot of people said it was labeled as a meet and greet, and they thought that they were actually going to meet Lady Gaga. And I understand that. That's really understandable that you think you're going to meet Lady Gaga, meet and greet, Q&A. You think you're going to at least get to talk to her and ask her questions, but that wasn't the case. The people who got to talk to her and be in the lobby with her were like devs and a few creators and stuff like that, which understandable. She can't just meet us all and talk to us all, but there could have been a chance for her to do that. For her to at least go into 3 to 4 different public servers and greet her fans. But we also have to understand how busy she is and, things that she has to do. She can't just, go into different servers and say, hey, and, she loves her fans, so she's going to want to stay and, chat. But it was unfair for only a certain amount of people to get to meet her and, actually talk to her and be in the same lobby with her. While we, as the players, only got to watch And it did get to a point where people were like, is this actually Lady Gaga typing? Like, is this actually her? Is it her PR team? Is it a bot? And I'll be honest, I don't think they would set all that up like that and have it be a bot. But honestly, they could have live streamed, either Dress to Impress or Gaga could have live streamed this and made some sort of proof out of it. But Lady Gaga did post a picture showing that she was in fact playing, but there could have been more ways to make it more believable than just a picture or like anything. Like I said, it could have been a live stream by Dress to Impress themselves. And I'm gonna say this, we as a community, as Dress to Impress players, we have to realize Dress to Impress did this huge collab with Lady Gaga herself. And this was their first time doing something this big. So of course things were unprepared. Of course maybe it wasn't advertised the way it should have been advertised. And I understand that leaves the community feeling scammed and things like that. But we gotta realize, like, it won't be perfect the first time. Don't get me wrong. A lot of things could have went differently, but it wouldn't be perfect the first time. And we were allowed to call it boring. We were allowed to give our opinion and, you know, criticism on the event, because that's their first time doing it, as long as we weren't really rude about it. But things did take a turn for the worst. I myself did find the event a little bit boring. What am I kidding? But it was, in fact, like nothing to do. We were just reading text and stuff like that. It wasn't really nothing to keep us entertained. We were just learning more about Gaga herself, which is fine. Nothing wrong with reading about your favorite artist. Nothing wrong with that. But it was just really lengthy, and I could see the frustration. I stayed the whole time. I went AFK during some parts because I needed to go eat, make me a sandwich, maybe even pop some popcorn, because I was sitting there for like a few hours just looking at my screen, looking at all the hype in the chat, slowly fade, players slowly fade. And I really do understand why they would leave, why they would get frustrated. But like I said, and I'm gonna keep referring back to this, don't blame Dress to Impress for the event and stuff like that, because it's their first time. Even with the write-up, they never did something like this. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that, and I felt like we shouldn't have put blame on Dress to Impress for it being so boring and this, that, and that. They didn't know how we were gonna react. They just seen our excitement for Lady Gaga to actually appear. But we didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't know that we weren't going to like it. They didn't know that we were going to find it boring. And that's where that criticism comes in, where we tell them like, well, this event was kind of boring. I seen it as this, I seen it as that. And it's totally fine to say that, totally fine to be like, I dislike the event. Now, there was a quick turn by, I think, the community manager. I'm not sure. I'm not into all that. I wasn't in the Dress to Impress Discord server or whatever when everything was happening. I'm just a bystander. I just play the game, okay? But I kind of got offended by what the response was to all the criticism. Now, there's a bunch of kids that play this game, okay? Some may be younger than most, but all minors at the end of the day. I feel like the message was basically out of anger and frustration. And as an adult, it shouldn't resort to a message like that being sent out or put out to a bunch of minors. It shocked me because there's just no way you would reply like that to criticism. Like, I forgot what she said. It was some time ago. I'm just now throwing out my opinion on it. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it anymore, but I never spoke about it. And I feel like I have a different opinion than most people. As an adult, it's just some things you shouldn't say. Even frustrated, angry, it's just not your place to publicly, disrespect a community, because that's what it felt like. It felt very disrespectful to say that to a community that keeps the game running. Because I felt like the message was directed to all the people who disliked the event. And I personally didn't dislike nor like the event, but I felt like it was aimed towards the people who had something to say. And that's not right. Because at the end of the day, you're working for Dress to Impress, and though people are saying nasty things or rude things and remarks and giving, rude criticism or whatever you want to call it, it's just like you have to take it. At the end of the day, it's your game. This is your community. This is how they're going to say things, and it might be rude. It might be nasty. All you got to do is know how to counter it. But don't come back and be disrespectful and try to humble the community. I literally forgot what they said, but I think they said we lack common sense. By some things just don't have to be said as soon as possible. I understand where they were coming from, but you don't have to speak out of frustration and anger. You could have took time for yourself. You didn't have to respond to all the criticism and all that right away. You chose to do that. I'm pretty sure the community understands all this was planned and It took a long time, but in no way, shape, or form should you have came out like how you did. But all this is a lesson learned, okay? All this is a lesson learned, something that won't happen again. Hopefully. They came out with an apology, but I guess nobody accepted the apology. They just went on to bashing them and exposing them eventually. And it was just like, whoa. This got way out of hand, way too quick. But I could expect this. It's expected because once you go after a large group of people, 1 out of 3 will say something about you that you won't like. And I feel like 100 out of 100 will look at you differently. So I feel like when her apology came out, it backfired. Like, people looked over it. She thought it was going to be a simple sorry, everything would go away, and then she got exposed. I mean, I don't know if the things or the allegations, I should say, are true, but that's a little bit crazy, ma'am. I'm sorry, what? Because it was so random to just come out about. It was like someone was waiting for her to mess up to say something. But if you already had this proof, why did it take so long to come out about? Why did you let them stay so long in the community with all these people, knowing you know what they've done? And I feel like hadn't the person got exposed for, the allegations, they would have still been on the team. It's just that thou exposer waited for the perfect time so they can get the boot. But I don't know, maybe I got the dates twisted. Maybe I didn't really do my research on it, so don't quote me on anything that I'm saying. I'm just going off of what came to me. Apparently Dress to Impress didn't know about the past, so they took care of it. They fired her, and that was that. But all in all, in my opinion, I feel like I was overthinking a bit, because the whole situation, I feel like it could have been played out better. But we're all humans, we all make mistakes. Just hope we can learn from them and pick ourselves up from there on forward, and make better decisions. No shade, because I know we all can agree that we should have made better decisions and went about something differently that we did in our life. So, and as we approach the ending of this video, of me just yapping about nothing because who cares. I want to share something else with you guys. Something that happened to me while I've been gone. Well, off YouTube. Well, inactive on YouTube. So you might hear me laugh about this, but this isn't funny to me. At this part where I said God no, it's because I seen a video on TikTok about, like, it was literally this thing specifically, and I quote, it says, apparently in DTI Master Service, the key of winning all rounds is doing hot couture and being a John Galano wannabe every round. The theme was Elf and these colorful diarrheas were on podium. And I was like, but I didn't even speak my mind because in the comments, they were all just agreeing with the video, but I disagree. That's not the key to winning every round in the master server. These days, master servers are filled with like regular server players. Like, these people look like they belong in a regular server. So of course, when somebody sees something different, like above what they normally see, they'll get podium because, like, hey, I've never seen something like that before. But then to say colorful diarrheas, no, because let me tell you why this triggered me. This triggered me because it's like, I always change up my style. I never do the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over. Once I master a style and I feel like, okay, well, I can recreate this over and over again, I move on to the next. But this specific style where it involves a bunch of color and like doing something out of my comfort zone, like different than what I normally put on, what I normally do, because I'm a dark color type of girly. When I go out of my comfort and start to use brighter colors and, you know, learn to make those colors somehow blend together and look well with each other, I could not for the life of me get podium whatsoever. I know people will be like, oh well, sounds like a skill issue. No, this is not the case. I felt like this was a genuine hate that spread like a virus. And for me to actually win, I had to be in a server that gets it. So I do not agree with the TikTok saying, if you're colorful diarrhea, that's how you win in master servers. Because that's not how you win. Regardless if I was trying a style or not right there, I haven't won one game like that back when I was trying to practice on that style in master servers. This eventually took me out of playing Dress and Press completely, because after seeing that video, I was drained. Like, I couldn't find another style to do in that moment that I actually liked and wanted to try out. I'm not trying to be rude or say that if you can't accomplish the style, then don't speak about it, because it's very hard. And it took me some time to actually realize, like, my outfits look good. There's nothing wrong with my outfits. This is appealing. The theme is elf. I have my elf ears on. That's on theme. Like, I don't have to be a Christmas elf. I don't have to dress up like it's Christmas. Like, and I just want people to understand that also, like, people that are higher ranks, they've been playing the game for some time, they're not always going to want to go directly for the theme. They're not always going to be directly on theme. They might do a freestyle or whatever case may be. They might not just do what's expected. They might want to go rainbow elf. Like, what's the matter? But yeah, that was a point in time where I just was like, yeah, Dress and Press, the community is getting very toxic, and I can't always see their side, because in a dress up game, there's no limit to what you do, what you put on, how you style it. Everything you do will involve creativity. You have to make your outfits appeal to the crowd, the people who are voting for you. I came on here because it's something I want to talk about, because I also have a feeling that the community has began to get toxic, and I know everybody's been saying that, but I've never personally seen it because I always seen the community's eyes too. But well, which I still see how they feel, because this is what wins, and mind you, I won this round, but at the same time, it's due to how you interpret the theme, not just the color you used or who you want it to be. Like, I don't know. All I know is that it isn't basic. If someone likes to wear a bunch of colors, let them do them. What's the problem? If they want to look like that, let them look like that. That's their style. I wouldn't vote anybody different if they decided that their style is goth and they like to do dark colors, so they do black everything. I wouldn't even mind. That's my style, but that's boring. So that's not what I did. Everything. But I understand their part. But I also want to say that don't bully a certain style out of their style. It just makes the game unfun. Like, it's a dress-up game. People should be able to express themselves however they want. No matter who wins or loses, you can always go to a different server and dress up in that server and get different views, different perspectives of how people like outfits. It's not every server that's gonna vote for a colorful outfit or, you know, something that, like, I'll never get it. But just a hot topic and insight on what happened to me over the time that I wasn't on YouTube that much, and what happened to me playing Dress to Impress and posting play Dress to Impress with me videos. But that's the end of this update video / yapathon. If you guys enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe and follow my social medias in the description. Leave a comment for any video ideas or if you agreed or disagreed with me. Thanks for watching. Bye.